Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Thursday. So you know what that means, community. We're going to have another educational Thursday as we continue on our Thursdays to intentionally educate our community, bring the phenomenal guests to bring the information, the sauce to the community, the information that sometimes our community just don't get. I don't know why sometimes we don't get it. But tonight you're going to get blessed with some information. We're talking about health. This is Black Man's Mental Health Month. We're talking about mental health all year long. We're talking about health in general all year long. So anytime we can get someone to come on to talk about health and diet and all these great things, it's always a great show. You know, it's been a lot going on. I just want to say I got off the airplane a couple of days ago. I hit the ground running on Hidden Gym Show. A lot of things happen, but, even with the barriers and the obstacles, y'all know, the bishop still shows up for the people, so I'm excited just because, things are starting to kind of start flowing again. I had a little house flood. I had to get my carpets done. I had to clean up. I had to deal with some stuff. Okay. Then we had our scholarship award ceremony. Our gift cards came late. Things just wasn't happening. I don't know. The energy sometimes shift. I don't know if it's the good weather here in the Bay Area. All of a sudden, the heat wave just took over. And maybe it's just Mother Nature. I don't know. Sometimes these things happen, but again, we are excited because we're getting through it. We were able to start distributing our gift cards out to the young people. They were so excited. They just pumped up about their scholarships, graduating, and some of the amazing things that they're going to be doing in college to give back. And I'm just excited and proud, Mark, and honored because some of these kids are first generation going to college. Some of these areas of education that they're going to is the first time in their family and the community. We have some young people that's going to be doctors and bioengineers, environmental specialists, business majors. I mean, some powerful stuff, community. We talk about changing the narrative here at both sides of the conversation, the uplifting the voices of the people, okay? This is what we do. These young people, these stories are the stories that we got to continue to uplift. We got to continue to promote young people, Black and brown communities, some of the worst communities that these folks are coming out of, sometimes single families, sometimes substance abuse, sometimes homelessness through COVID. And they still was able to march through, graduate, and we're honored to be able to support and uplift them. But none of this happened without the amazing, amazing sponsors and the folks we have, our Mayor, London Breed, for the Dream Keeper Initiative, Shaman Walton, Director Davis, Dr. Sy, all of the amazing folks that uplifts the Dream Keeper Initiative, impacting the whole city, Be Magic, Mo Magic, Bayview YMCA, YCD, ACN, amazing, amazing community organizations that are uplifting the people. And then thank you to the community, the amazing folks in the community that knew we were doing the scholarship, sending donation, cash apping, saying, hey, I want to support these young people. Okay. I wanted to have 100 young people apply for our scholarship. We got 19, and guess what? Things are so great that we was able to give all 19 of these young folks scholarship. We didn't get to give them all the $2,500, both sides of the conversation, but they all receiving some amazing amounts to get started, man, to buy a book, buy a computer. I don't know. They got some blessings. They were happy. They excited. And we just excited because we get to uplift these young people and do the things that we do. I know we had a phenomenal event on Wednesday. The district attorney announced her new program that she's going to be doing with young people on the Sojourn Truth. I went on the trip, phenomenal way to educate young folks about the history. You can't know where you're going until you know your history. I was moved by the young people and the level of interest and the level of motivation that these young people had. And again, the DA is trying to work with community to change the narrative of what the district attorney's office looks like, how to promote change, and looking for new opportunities to connect with young people and really shift the narrative when it comes to public safety, when it comes to law enforcement and community. We know there's a big step that's going to take to shift that narrative. But again, it's programs like this, it's innovative ideals that really move community forward. So I'm just elated and excited for all of the young people who got a chance to go on the civil rights tour and just really understand, observe, and just soak in all of the information that's going on as they going about their way. So, we got a major weekend kicking off. It is the kickoff of Juneteenth weekend in San Francisco. The San Francisco second annual Juneteenth parade is kicking off this Saturday. Community, Get out there. It's going to be fun. We're going to take over the streets, Market Street. It's going to be fun event. There's going to be food vendors. There's going to be music, dance. There's going to be cultural experiences. Everybody's welcome. Come out for Juneteenth and check out what's going on and come celebrate the liberation, the freedom of some folks that didn't get an opportunity to the last out in Galveston, Texas. Shout out to all those amazing folks. But again, great stuff coming, Brother Mark. Community, I'll be here for a short time. Mark will be closing y'all out. We're going to make Mark give the benediction tonight. The bishop won't be here to get a benediction. Brother Mark, I know you can do it. The voice is here. Talk to the people. Voice, what's going on?
Well, community, as always, I love being here. It's always a blessing when the bishop is in the house, but he stays so busy. But I'll be honest, Bishop, I'm so proud to be a part of both sides of the conversation because I've got to witness firsthand how you plant seeds and impact people's lives through everything we do. And I know the community, all the organizations out there are working together to make sure that the people have all the information that they can to stay connected, because we need each other more now than we have ever before. And you never know when just something you share might be the thing that unlocks somebody else in the community. So looking forward to tonight's Educational Thursday. We've got a phenomenal guest. But man, I'm glad you were able to stop by.
I couldn't leave you, Brother Mark. I just want to say, you're doing so much. I just couldn't leave you. So I'm here. I don't know. I'm just excited, brother. It's always great to walk on the side of you as well as the other brothers in the community. And, I'm just happy to be here. I don't know. My soundboard is not working tonight. I guess my carpet guy must have knocked all my wires out. I don't know. But I was going to give you a nice round of applause. And everything went off. I don't know. See, I'm just telling you, everything is going down. But I'm happy to be here with you as well. Community, it's been a great week of weather. Again, we still have a couple of more days in the East Bay to North Bay where temperatures are still above 85 to 100 degrees. So community, please make sure you stay hydrated. All of our workers who are working out in the field, out in the streets, out in the sun, make sure that you're taking enough breaks and staying hydrated. Make sure that we are bringing the pets in the house as these temperatures are impacting folks everywhere. Just wanted to put that out there to community. So, it's cooling down a little bit closer to the city, but everybody in the East Bay, North Bay, and South Bay, it's still warm out there. So be careful, stay hydrated. It is beautiful. Get some ice cream, enjoy the kids, enjoy the community, and, get ready for the cool down. It'll come soon. All right. With that being said, we'll jump in some of the news, announcements, and let Mark get us through the events, bring up this phenomenal guest. And like I said, I'll be tapping out, community. I'll be here for a short while, and Mark will be closing out the show today. Also, with the news story, we talked about this on Tuesday. We just want to update with some changes for the San Francisco families. We'll be able to get to shop with dignity at the new grocery store in District 10 in San Francisco. It's a community market for the Bayview community and for other folks as well. You do have to qualify as low-income family. For elder adults, the market is open to alleviate some of the food insecurities. Again, folks will be able to come into this community market, grab whatever they need without paying, milk, eggs, vegetables, and just get some healthy food and walk out without having to pay for it. So again, excited to see this initiative happening as we talk about the food insecurities that continue to impact community. The food desert, the food apartheid in our community is so hard in some of these communities to find healthy food, not only just healthy food, but grocery stores and things of that nature. So this is a great addition to the community. I think this is like the kickoff pilot. And I think they're going to be trying this all across the city, and maybe other cities and counties to start seeing what's going on and say, hey, maybe we should do this too and offer food and milk and things for our folks. With these economic crises that we are dealing with, the amount of job loss, the amount of financial impact that are impacting families, folks are being touched. So it's programs like this that will help folks in need. And believe me, there's a lot of folks who are working hungry. It's a challenge out here. So we definitely in some tough times, and it's just great to see another opportunity for folks to have access to food in this country. We should at least have access to housing and food, and what a way to kick this initiative out. So shout out to all of the amazing folks at the community market in D10. Shout out to D10 Supervisor Shaman Walton and his team, making sure that they continue to push forward to make sure access gets to the community. Also, San Francisco, a jury convicts a man who kidnapped a woman in San Francisco. A man named Michael Swartz, age 36, was convicted for kidnapping a young woman in the Mister District. This incident took place on 24th and Mission Street in 2023 in October at 2 a.m. Fortunately, the young lady was able to break free and give police that information to arrest this guy. The trial is coming up for sentencing. I guess he was already convicted, but the sentencing is coming up. Again, this is efforts that the DA and police is putting in place to try to combat some of the stuff that's happening on our streets, as we see that they are really increasing the measures of public safety. So again, that's one of the things that the district attorney talked about the other night, really making sure public safety is for everyone in San Francisco, as there are more cops being hired, coming on, more prosecutors and DAs, more folks looking out. Again, public safety is for everybody. And again, unfortunate that the young lady had to go through this, but the person who did it is off the streets looking at sentencing. So again, community, just keep, working together. We're trying to change what's going on in San Francisco. And we know a lot of this stuff is impacted by the substance abuse, the mental health. And again, there's measures and things are happening to get more mental health services and support in the city, more substance abuse clinics and things to help folks who are going through addiction. So again, just be patient with these economic challenges. It is hard, but hey, our leadership is trying to put things in motion. So again, that's some of the stuff that's going on. Also, the FBI is searching defendant's home after a jury was allegedly offered $120,000 bribe to go not guilty. Federal agents searched the home of a defendant in a high-profile fraud trial in Minnesota following an alleged attempt to bribe one of the jurors. You just can't make this stuff up sometimes, but this is what's going on in our country. There's so much stuff going on, but the FBI is looking at all of this, from money laundering to a lot of the things that was going on. Community, okay, if you are on the jury pool, okay, don't be letting nobody swindle you into trying to get a not guilty verdict. It's just not okay, all right? But again, sad to hear that, but this stuff still goes on in our community. We think these things don't happen. I know a lot of times we watch these TV shows and movies and think, oh, this is far-fetched from reality. Again, this is reality. This is happening. So again, do your part out there. If you have a civic duty, to do it honorably, and don't get persuaded by money and none of the things of that nature. So with that being said, that's our news today. I don't know, Mark. It was short.
We living in reality TV, like for real. Like exactly. Everything now seems like it's an Instagram story. Like you can't make this stuff up, but it's happening. Welcome to America, 2024, exactly. Baby. Everything's for sale.
Well, go ahead, brother Mark. Jump into the events. What's going on, so community know where all the free events are, what's going on, so they can get connected. And we'll let you take it off, brother.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started with the community events. Our first event, join Mayor London Breed for the opening of her campaign headquarters and community canvas Saturday, June 8th at 9:30 a.m. at 541 Castro Street. Be part of the excitement and community action. And also join us at the SF Brown Bombers Juneteenth block party on June 8th. You can come celebrate from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 5th and Market Street with music by R. Dizzle Funk. You don't want to miss out on the festivities. Also, San Francisco's Juneteenth parade, where you can join the vibrant parade on June 8th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. down Market Street. If you want to get more information, visit the link below on your screen to register. And you can also attend Mayor London Breed's third annual San Francisco Juneteenth kickoff celebration on June 14th at 12 p.m. at the San Francisco City Hall North Light Court. You don't want to miss out on the celebration of freedom and community. And the SF Black Wall Street Gala. Come out, experience an evening of elegance on June 14th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you want to get more details on this event, visit the link below. And also, we have the Juneteenth Festival Fillmore. Come dive into cultural festivities on June 15th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you want to get more details and information, visit the link on your screen below. and the SF Bayview Juneteenth and Father's Day Festival at Gilman Park. Join us on June 16th from 12 to 6 p.m. for music, food, rides, and more. To get more info or to RSVP, see the link below. And join B Magic's Back to School Celebration and Backpack Giveaway on August the 3rd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 1050 McAllister Street in San Francisco. To get more details, see the link below. And also, you can join Mo Magic's second Back to School Celebration and Backpack Giveaway on August the 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 155 Jennings Street in San Francisco. If you want to get more details, you can also see the link below on the screen. And come celebrate the Brown Bombers' 25th year. You can register for youth football and cheerleading. Start the 2024 season off. It's only a $150 fee. That includes all the gear. Details are below at the link to register. And the SOA City is Mine Tech and Sports Camp has been from April 2nd going all the way through November the 26th, held at various times and locations for ages varying from 7 to 16. To get more details, see the link below. And the Kids in the City presents Hair 101 Workshop Saturdays from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Chase Center for youth ages 7 to 17, where you can learn about unique hair. The supplies will be provided. Registration information is below. And you can join the SECC at Hungry Cafe from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for co-working eatery and social space at the Southeast Community Center. And the University of San Francisco's new Community Counseling and Wellness Center is providing 12 weeks of free therapy for San Francisco residents over 18 facing barriers to care. If you'd like to get more details, please email the link below. And the Dreamkeeper Initiative's Senior Home Repair Program. It offers up to $50,000 forgivable loan to low to moderate income senior and or disabled homeowners that are in distressed San Francisco neighborhoods. If you'd like to get more information, email the link below for more details. And the SF Human Rights Commission holds regular bi-monthly meetings on the second and fourth Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. in San Francisco City Hall Room 416. You can attend in person or via Zoom. And Fathers to Founders Child Support Clinics are every Tuesday and Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 232 6th Street in San Francisco. You can come get guidance on child support debt, license holds, custody, and visitation rights. For more information or to get an appointment, you can call the phone number that is listed below on the screen. The Dreamkeeper Initiative's Down Payment Assistance Loan Program offers up to $500,000 for down payment assistance and up to $30,000 to help cover closing costs. You can get connected with housing counselors, lenders, and realtors. For more details, or if you're interested, see the link below. And Walter's Wellness Group hosts the Sip Paint Center every first, third, and fifth Friday. You can unwind and set the tone for your weekend. Get fueled by tea, creativity, and grounding. It's hosted by Dr. Kathia Walters and her team. If you'd like to get more information, see the link below. And join Fathers to Founders for Fatherhood Reimagined Therapy Group Sessions. They're held every Tuesday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Food is provided. If you'd like to RSVP or get more information, see the phone number below on your screen. And APRI hosts youth workshops where you can get job referrals, resume, and skill building exercises, as well as links with internships. There's networking and community service hours available. To get more details, see the number below on your screen. and Fillmore's Friday Night Market, held every Friday from 4 to 9 p.m. on O'Farrell Street between Fillmore and Steiner. There's live music, food, vendors, dominoes, prizes, and fun. Vendor booths are still available. To get more details, see the link below. And the vaccination site for your COVID-19 boosters and the monkeypox antiviral pill treatments. To get more information, see the times and locations below. And visit the community living room for free breakfast or the grab-and-go lunches Monday through Friday at the City of Hope Cafe. For more details, see the information below. And visit the San Francisco Office of Financial Empowerment for free, confidential, one-on-one smart money coaching. You can get financial guidance in English or in Spanish, and it's available to anyone who's living or working in San Francisco. See the link below for more information. And be a mentor in SFUSD's Mentoring for Success program. You can sign up to volunteer as an individual or a group mentor district-wide. To help make an impact, see the link below on how to sign up. And also, we invite you to join our show to promote your business or nonprofit or community impact on Hidden Gems. Or you can share your expertise on an Educational Thursday or be one of our panelists on a Sunday conversation. Also, don't forget you can keep up with both sides of the conversation's latest shows and community outreach events. Follow us on all social media platforms. You can also subscribe to our newsletter at bsotc.org. And also, both sides of the conversation welcomes volunteers to join our mission to uplift and support the community. Make a positive impact. Become a volunteer today. You can email us at hr@bsotc.org. And also, we invite you to support our podcast and community engagement. Your generous contributions will greatly aid us in enhancing our programming. And also, we want to take this time to finally acknowledge the Dreamkeeper Initiative and its support of both sides of the conversation's programming and San Francisco's diverse Black communities. To learn more, see the link below. All right, and that will do it for our news and events. Don't forget to tune in for our Sunday conversation on June 9th. We will be discussing men's health. And next week on Tuesday, June 11th, tune in to watch our scholarship recipients. And that will do it for our news and our events. And now, all right, since Bishop had to run, I want to make sure we give a proper introduction. We do have an amazing guest joining us this evening for the Educational Thursday. We want to take this opportunity to introduce Miss Coach Sheila, the Undiet Coach. She's renowned for her program, The Reboot Method, where she's helping transforming thousands by ending diet struggles for lasting wellness. She's been featured on Fox, MSNBC, CBS, and ABC. She's among 20 elite master health coaches in the U.S. with over a decade's experience in shedding 130 pounds. Sheila's expertise is unmatched, and she is a Harvard-educated gut microbiome specialist and a master mindful meditation instructor. Sheila's holistic approach, tailored to individual need, ensures optimal health. And collaborating seamlessly with medical professionals, she offers insights and facilitate tests for hormonal balance. So join us as Miss Sheila, Coach Sheila, shares her transformative insights on holistic wellness. So with no further ado, we'll introduce to some and present to others, Coach Sheila.
Hello, thank you so much for having me on today. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak here.
Oh, well, we are so glad to have you, Coach Sheila. Again, I had a couple of moments to chat with you here before the program. I know you have a wealth of information to share with the community. We wanted to make sure we did a proper introduction, but please talk to the community, tell them why it's important, that they know what the uncoach can help them do?
Well, I got called the undiet coach by my clients. They're like, you're not really helping me diet. You're undieting me. You're breaking me out of this food prison I've been in, where people go on diets over and over and over again. I myself have been on more than 20 different diets. I've lost 130 pounds and kept it off. I was morbidly obese in an electric wheelchair. And my doctor said, you know, you're going to die young. They sent me to a therapist to get through my head that I was going to, you know, stop making such a problem. My therapist said, I'm not talking you into dying young. Do something about it. So I did. And the transformation that I had had in my 50s in an electric wheelchair and 23 medications and sicker than a dog, terrible diabetes, autoimmune disease, the whole kit and caboodle. I had such a transformation simply using food as medicine and mindset shifts at the core of what was going on. And the focus, we need to start getting away from dieting, then we'll get healthy after we lose some weight. The absolute key is to get healthy, to honor this wonderful gift we have from God in these bodies that know how to heal themselves, and really learn what that body needs. And the trick is, well, what does it want? How do we feed it? There's so much crazy information out there. There are food fables and stale science and all the standard American diet, the SAD, the sad food that we're felt. It just makes us sicker and sicker and bigger every year. And there's an epidemic of diabetes, obesity, disease to levels we've never seen before. And people, it's not because people don't have willpower or they just can't do it. We are not provided the information, any of us, on how our body really works and how to do anything about it that's lifelong, that's lasting. We consider diets as these temporary things we do, and then we can go back to what we did before and our weight goes up and down and up and down. And Mark, it's really the up and down that is the unhealthy part. It's not the going up and up and up. It's all of that reflexing up and down and yo-yo dieting that makes us really, really ill. And it truly is an epidemic. And none of the big food companies are doing anything about it. They just want you to buy their junk food and tell you it's healthy. And they call it like healthy choice. And they make you feel good about it because they know we're working 3 or 4 jobs. We're flying down the aisles 8 o'clock at night with 3 kids, and we're trying to just grab what's healthy off the shelves that we can afford. And it's junk food. And we feel that those processed foods are good for us by what they market them as, but also because it appears to be less expensive. It's less in the box that you're grabbing. But processed food is proven to be 22.5 times, not percent, times as expensive as using whole real foods and making our own food. So my entire mission is teaching people how this wonderful thing works, how to take care of it, how to give it what it wants, and just get out of its way. It doesn't want all this overweight and all this obesity either. And if we get healthy, we focus on health first, all the weight takes care of itself. That's what I found. And my weight melted off of my body, just like an avalanche. I went from a 54-inch waist to a 27-inch waist. And I became the coach I wanted to have when I, wanted a coach, and there wasn't one out there that was teaching this. I work with doctors. Doctors don't have time to spend with their patients. They welcome really qualified health coaches. I'm not talking about the keto cheerleader who's, I lost 5 pounds. Let me show you how. I'm talking about someone who's a real medical professional who can help people. And whether you are in a food desert or whether you have access to great food or not, whatever income level you're at, whatever resources you have, you are able to feed yourself with food as medicine. You are. And I've seen it. I myself was on disability for years and food stamps, and I was able to shop even at 99-cent stores and be able to get the food that I needed to feed myself well once you learn how to do it. I'm not talking about, oh, she's going to talk about organic food and she's going to talk about, no, it's about the right quality of food that anybody can have access to. So we're going to be talking about that tonight.
Well, I can't wait. I know you have a presentation that you put together. Again, I'll let you go ahead and pull up the presentation. Please present that to the community. Then afterwards, we'll jump back into our conversation and extract some more gems and nuggets to help them get the best out of them.
Let me pop into that presentation right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so one of the biggest things that's out there right now, you cannot turn on the TV or the computer or the internet, anywhere, any kind of browser without seeing Ozempic in your face. Like everybody, Ozempic, Ozempic, Ozempic. It is the miracle drug. It's now covered on Medicare and Medicaid. They're pushing it to everyone. There are 4 million prescriptions written every single month now for this, without knowing what the long-term effects are. And it makes me crazy because we can get these same effects that Ozempic has using holistic approaches. Big companies can't make money on food as medicine, so they want to sell this to people. And I understand why it's so popular. I understand why people want to get to it. But what I want to present tonight to people is that there is an alternative and what holistic really means and that food as medicine really means. So just a quick disclaimer, my people make me do this, but that's me in there afterwards, after I lost my 130 pounds. But this presentation is not to be construed as medical advice or a treatment plan, is intended for general education purposes only. Do not use this information to self-diagnose or self-treat any health, medical, or physical condition. Do not use the following to avoid going to your own healthcare professional or to replace the advice they give you. Please consult with your doctor before implementing any new healthcare approaches. Myself, my company make no representations about the accuracy or suitability of this content for you. Okay, well, we got that out of the way, made the suits happy. So thanks for joining me today and coming on and hearing me out about this. We're going to get all the results you want from a semaglutide, which is the name of what Ozempic and Mounjaro and all of them are, without the drastic, risky, scary side effects that come with it. We're going to cover how it works, why they're so popular, is it really a magic wand? And then we're going to do a real true side-by-side comparison of the actual Ozempic side effects that are on the box and the kind of and consequences and all of it, and how you can get the same thing and what the consequences are on the holistic side. So I had told you a little bit about my story, and that little triangle up on top. These are previous pictures of me at my larger size when I was bigger, and my pants I used to wear and so forth. So that there's proof. That's me when I was bigger. That was 5 years ago. And up at the top of the pyramid is pointing at that tiny, tiny little space up there. And when you're working with a medical professional, health coach, whoever you're going to be listening to, please make sure they're the cream of the crop, that they're best. Check their education, check their certifications. Take it seriously. You never go into anything medical, including weight loss, to do anything but find the best person that can help you. So I would encourage you to check into people's backgrounds and really look into them. So let's dive right into this. So who is this for? So if you've tried everything and absolutely nothing has worked or lasted, if you've been told you're pre-diabetic or now type 2 diabetic, your doctor's recommended drastic measures like bariatric surgery or Ozempic, semaglutides, all of those, the weight loss shot, and you're worried about all the risky consequences and controversies, you're up staring at the ceiling at night wondering, should I really do this or not? And you're not sure where to turn to an alternative? Well, we can unpack this and let's figure this out tonight. So how do these GLP-1 antagonists work? That's what they're called, the Ozempics. So this is a little diagram of all the different systems that get affected when you take this antagonist. And what the antagonist means is you take it and it starts changing your hormonal balance in your body and starts imitating sugar, the way it's brought into your body, to cause your body to release far more insulin than it normally would. It affects first your gastrointestinal tract. It keeps your stomach from dumping food. It slows down food, which is one of the reasons there's so much side effects of nausea and vomiting and all of that. But it also ferments the food and causes a lot of gastrointestinal distress and GERD, that acid reflux problem. Increase immense amounts of increased insulin resistance and obesity type responses in your body that are controlled on the back end. It reduces your appetite, increases your satiety, which is your I feel full part of things. And it really stresses your liver to create sugars and create combatants to sugars. And it stresses every single one of these systems in your body. It stresses them. The one organ that seems to do better on these types of medications is absolutely your heart. It reduces your blood pressure and it helps with all the protections of your heart. So if you have any heart disease, it happens to be a side effect of it that it works. But it's not as simple as it just holds my appetite down. Like this makes me not hungry. It actually works on the processing of how you think about food, reduces your feeling of wanting food, partially from the nausea and so forth that it does. It decreases your appetite as well. But it truly, truly does have an effect that causes people to lose weight and very, very quickly, which is why it's been, but at what cost? You know, like what is the end result of affecting so many systems at once? So let's figure out, why are these so darn popular? Well, as we said, there's just an epidemic level of obesity and real life consequences in the country right now. 41.9% of adults in the US are obese, not just overweight, but obese. And worldwide, there's over 1 billion people that have obesity. 340 million of these are adolescents and children. The medical costs for people who are obese are 30 to 40% higher over your lifetime. And we spend 3 more days a year at, calling in sick to work and missing income from work. And 4 million people die every year from the consequences of obesity. Now, obesity is not just a weight level. It's not just using the wacky BMI levels that there are to say, oh, you're obese. It's an actual disease that's listed in the American Medical Association. It is a covered disease under insurance, and it has lots of consequences to it. And people also have diet failures. As I talked about, I'd been on over 20 of them. Most of my clients come to me, the average is 15 diets that people have been on in the last 3 or 4 years, just trying and trying and trying. It causes something called diet stress. You get fatigue. You go on these low calorie and liquid diets that only shut down your metabolism. It increases cortisol, which is your stress hormone, which causes you to gain weight. You start binge eating because of the restrictions that there are. Then you go on these weight loss medications that just kind of screw up your other systems in your body, and it has all kinds of side effects. And the loss of comfort foods create grief. People actually grieve the loss of their comfort foods from all of this stress that's going on from it. They have their drug of choice, the food that a lot of people use to quiet themselves, is gone. So there's a great deal of diet distress and stress that's out there right now. And I also understand why the doctors are prescribing it at the levels that they are. They're very frustrated. They don't have any workable options. The whole eat less, move more thing failed. If that actually worked, we'd all be thin and I'd be out of a job and we'd all just be fine. There wouldn't be this epidemic going on of obesity. And I remember when my doctor walked in and he's like, well, the problem is, Sheila, you're obese. I said, well, that's rude. He goes, I'm not being rude. It's a diagnosis. You're seriously ill. And we kind of get away from that. It sneaks up on us so slowly and then all at once to find ourselves at that level. And people are trying, and doctors are trying. Now they have something they can hand you. Bam, here's the prescription. It's at least something I can do to help you. So that's why in the end of 2022, that's the last statistic there was for the year, was 4.3 million in that quarter. It's now up to 4 million a month. But only 1.5 million, which is still a lot, are filling their prescriptions. There's another 2.5 million people who don't want to take Ozempic and feel that they need to find something else, but they don't know what that is. So let's take a look at these magic wand promises that Ozempic says that they have that's out in the media. This is the actual paperwork from some Ozempic. A friend of mine had been on it, and she said, let me get you the paperwork so you can see. I wanted to see the real paperwork. I didn't want to just read some kind of conspiracy theory online or something. I wanted to see the actual paperwork and really see what's going on. And the one thing I can tell you that it says is that you have to still diet. You have to watch what you're eating. You have to work out. It is only a tool. It is not a magic wand. I've heard so many people say, I can eat my ice cream every night as long as I take my shot. That's really not how that works. So you know, going into it, you still have to take care of what goes in your mouth and how you move your body and your mindset work and everything. Now, it promises in the paperwork, you're going to lose up to 15% of your body weight in 18 months. So if you weigh 300 pounds, you're going to lose up to 45 pounds in the next 18 months, which is a great start to bringing your weight down. You lose your hangriness, that angry hungriness, the constant craving for sugar. It turns off sugar, which is highly addictive substance. That's a whole other cup of coffee to talk about that. We'll have to talk about that some night, the way, sugar is used in food and how people are addicted to it. But it turns that off, which for a lot of people is such a blessing, because a lot of people wake up at the crack of dawn and they are just starving the second they open their eyes, and they think of nothing but food all day, primarily from sugar addiction. It stops all the obsessive thinking about food and compulsive mindless eating. It improves your A1C, which is your 3-month level of where your blood sugars are, your blood sugar levels. And it increases cardiovascular health, which it absolutely does. So here's what the holistic approach can promise. So there's the promises up top. So that you lose 15%. Yep, it can do that. In fact, I help people, most of my clients lose up to 20% within 16 weeks. So we can move a little bit faster. The promise is better. We actually help people lose that hangriness, because we get people off of sugar and processed foods, start using more well-sourced, dense nutrition foods. People stop their obsessive thinking. So yeah, we do that. We improve people's A1C and we increase cardiovascular health. But ours is a permanent solution. On Ozempic and Wegovy and all of those semaglutides or GLP-1 antagonists, they're permanent solutions. If you go off the medication, you go right back to where you were before. So this is not permanent. When you learn how to feed your body and use nutrition to heal you, that's a permanent thing that happens. It becomes an effortless relationship with food and your body that lasts forever. I'm living proof. I mean, I'm 62 years old this month. I've kind of reverse aged my pictures. People say those are backwards. I said, no, those are forwards. And that you can regain a great deal of optimized health and keep it off effortlessly. I jump out of bed like a 6th grader and just take care of feeding myself. And that's what I want for my clients. And that's what I do for thousands of people. And we use food as medicine. So what holistic is and is not, really quickly. Holistic is 60% mindset. It's 60% working on all of those habits and things that we tell ourselves, identities around about what we eat, and that I'm a person who has a sweet tooth. I'm a person who has to have bread. I'm a person who needs to eat 6 times a day. I'm a person whose family makes all these amazing foods, and that's what I eat. Only 30% of that is food, and only 10% of the solution is working out. So that's what we have found working holistically with people, where the emphasis should be. And we focus on ancestral eating. Our friend Jocelyn calls it biblical eating. Going back to a long time ago, she said Bible times, when, biblically how people used to eat, using food that God intended us to put into our bodies. We can eat to satiety. There are no limits to how much you can eat when you have a holistic approach, because you're honoring your hormones, you're honoring your body. Food is medicine, mindset shifts, and using calm, rejuvenating moments. No Jillian Michaels screaming at you to run 1,000,000 miles a day or something in that kind of biggest loser kind of no pain, no gain, sweat, sweat, sweat kind of approach. People don't use that anymore. So this is what holistic is not. It's not about supplements and pills and calories and detoxes and being gluten-free, plant-based, all these different things, dirty keto, working out till you drop, high fiber, diet foods and soft drinks and swap foods and starving yourself. It's not about any of those things. That's not what it is about. So let's take a side-by-side comparison. So now we've taken a look at semaglutides. We've taken a look at Ozempic. We've taken a look at holistic and what it is. So let's do a real apples for apples. Let's put these two side by side and see if we can truly get those Ozempic type results holistically. Let's take a look. So Ozempic's most common side effects from the side of the box, from the paperwork that comes with it, nausea, vomiting, all you can read, all these things. There's permanent constipation and diarrhea. There's increased digestive enzymes, and Ozempic face is a big one that's out there right now. Chronic hypoglycemia, which is your blood sugar dropping all the time, anxiety, depression, acid reflux, and GERD. I mean, look at these things. It really, really destroys your gastrointestinal tract from the way it slows it down and messes with it. The holistic approach has much different side effects. We improve your sleep. We increase your nutritional absorption. We lower your A1C. We still do all of that. Lower insulin levels, lower your cortisol, take care of hunger hormones. So look at these. I'd much rather have these side effects than these side effects. The severe side effects, those weren't even the severe ones. The severe ones are cancers, kidney problems, an inflamed pancreas, an increase in pancreatic cancer, fainting and feeling like you're going to pass out. And there are no severe side effects in a holistic approach at all. Now, the long-term side effects, it's still kind of questionable with the Ozempics and the like, because they haven't been out for a super long time, and they have not, for as long as they've been out for diabetes, they haven't been used for people until recently for weight loss. And long-term side effects are like appendicitis, gallstones, GERD, hair loss. I mean, look at those things. Who wants those things? And you lose 15% of your body weight in 18 months. The holistic approach, modification of lifestyle, deep understanding of nutrition, that effortless relationship with food in your body and all of it. And we lose up to 20 pounds of your body weight in only 16 weeks. So which one would you rather do? You know, I'd much rather do the holistic approach, and did. They didn't use Ozempic back then when I was losing, but they are now. I may have considered it. I was very sick. I may have considered it at the time. So what a holistic approach can do for you, that anybody can have this at any place that you are, at whatever kind of food you can afford. You can take a holistic approach by walking away from the processed foods that are out there, from walking away from permanent snacking, walking away from sodas and diet sodas and all those things that are so poisonous for it. And you can take a natural approach and get that transformation that you're looking for. My clients are at every possible income level and have all different types of access to the foods in their community. But a holistic approach can give you peace of mind. It's safe for your whole family. Entire families of people, as a family culture, can find that they are obese because all of them eat the same foods and live the same lifestyle. A holistic approach is good for your kids. It's good for your husband, your children, your teenagers, your cousins. It's a permanent solution, and you can take it anywhere. You can, go out in the world and live out in the world and eat this way. You don't have to sit at home and just have your at-home diet foods. And it has great effects on your heart and your blood sugar. It takes away migraines. There's just so many wonderful side effects of having a holistic approach to the food that you eat. Now, these are just some of the clients that I've worked with, and it's done great things for a very wide variety of people, a very diverse client base from pretty much everywhere on the planet. People are on 6 different continents, and people, you can see some of the amounts that they've lost. This gal lost 47.5 pounds in 16 weeks. The average is around 20 to 30. Some people, lose 45, 50. I mean, the amounts that people are losing are phenomenal. And you can't lose too much weight either eating holistically. Your body pulls in where it needs to be, and it puts them in charge. I love Jeannie's quote, the best of all of these. She said, "Food is no longer the leader in this dance. I am the leader." And Jeannie is doing incredibly well. She's continued after ending her program with me and has lost another 30 pounds. So we're really happy for Jeannie. So if anybody would like to jump in and be part of a community of people that are like-minded, it is free to do so. There is a link right there that you can go to. It's a vibrant community, packed calendar of all kinds of events like this where you can learn about what's going on with your body. We have the Reboot Academy there with all different levels of work that you can do, and very dedicated coaches and coaching staff that are there to help you really understand how to get off this diet roller coaster that people are on. Let me jump back to where I was and stop my screen share there so I can come up and we can discuss some things. So I have to apologize. I lost electricity in most of my place while I was on hold, and I had to come out and back in. So it's a little bit dark over here. So my apologies.
You did fine, Coach. Technology does what it does, but this is a community show, so we're so glad that you were able to get everything in order. Fantastic job on the presentation.
Oh, thank you.
This is quite honestly one of those topics that I don't think we can discuss enough. Again, I was just sharing with you earlier, I just had a birthday. I'm 48 years old, and I'm trying to make sure that I stay as healthy and as young as I can. And I gotta give credit to some of the habits that I got from my mom and dad.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, one of the things that my dad was really big on was intermittent fasting. Like there would be times he would only eat like one meal a day, but he would make sure, a lot of the times he was snacking on grains and kind of whole nuts. I mean, again, he did have this Coke thing, like he would drink his Coca-Colas. And like culturally, I think we all kind of have our little nuanced traditions when it comes to food, but universally, this information applies to everybody because it affects everybody.
Well, everybody's the same, no matter where you're from. And the inside, we're all the same. We've got the same metabolic system, same cardiovascular systems, and food and science and how it all interacts in our bodies the same, no matter who we are. So soda is going to be poisonous for you no matter where you are. And one of the hardest parts, you touch on something very important, and one of the hardest things to do with people when they start, Mark, is to have them walk away from some of those traditions that they have, some of those things that they just traditionally have. My whole life I've had soda. Let's take soda just as an example because you brought it up. But that's very common. But it's also very poisonous. It's going to keep you from meeting your goals. And it's not just a matter of swapping out for some other sweet alternative. We used to think that we could have diet sodas. The diet soda would be the answer. When in fact, we know now, science has proven out time and time again, it's worse than the regular soda because of the chemicals and what it does to your brain. When you have aspartame, which is in Diet Coke, for instance, it is 72 times sweeter than sugar to your brain. It works neurologically. If you've ever tasted aspartame, it's horrible. It's bitter. It doesn't really taste sweet. You have to have a whole bunch of it to work on the sweet center of your brain for it to go, oh, sweet. And in doing so, you're releasing insulin, you're releasing all the different hormones like you just had all that sugar. So your body metabolically really does not respond well to that. And it just kicks the can down the road in the sugar addiction problem we have in the country by having diet versions of things.
And I'm glad you actually put up the chart, because most of this, when you're taking a holistic approach, because a lot of times people use these words, but they don't have the same concept of the word. So I'm glad that you talked about how much of it is mental, because honestly, I don't think a lot of people don't, until they get mad, like they realize just how manipulated food products are, that they try to mimic the look and feel and taste and textures of food, but they've been modified in such a way to trick us to consume even more. And so this is why I think what you do is so powerful.
Yeah. Well, there is a $63 billion a year diet industry out there that only survives by repeat customers. If what they did lasted, they'd be out of a job in a year or two. There's a joke out there, like, how many times have you been on Weight Watchers? We laughed about it before we came on. We talked about it with a couple folks on here. And, oh, yeah, how many times have you been? That's not really, I don't find that funny anymore. It's really disturbing to me that there's an industry that relies on your failure, your ultimate early death and the death of your children. 340 million obese children in the world. What? I mean, that's okay with you, you know? And the same companies that were big tobacco, RJR Reynolds and all of them, those kind of companies, now own big food, and they're trying the same tricks to get us to consume their foods. And they started with the gluten-free, and they started making everything gluten-free, seeing that was popular. And gluten-free's got nothing to do with weight loss. It has to do with whether you have celiac or not, this disease where you can't physically process wheat. It has nothing to do with weight loss. So anybody hearing my voice out there right now or watching this, gluten-free has nothing to do with weight loss. Just FYI, if you think you're doing that to help you, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
It's almost as if they've kind of picked up on the fact that a lot of people don't pay attention. And
they're relying on it.
Yeah, I think I saw something like they had this 0-calorie water. I'm like, wait a minute, water doesn't have
0 calorie anyway.
So it's like they've learned that they can market to us anything like the organic or the all natural. Like, it doesn't actually have to legitimately be all natural. If it has a certain percentage, they have some loophole where technically on the package they can put it as all natural. We're getting tricked and spending more money on these products, and we're still not getting the benefit of the nutrition.
Like I said, they know we're flying down the aisle of the grocery store. We're just grabbing stuff the kids are screaming for, and it says healthy, heart healthy. Okay, even though Fruit Loops is not heart healthy, we know that Fruit Loops is not. But okay, whatever. Here we go. And we think it's less expensive, and we think it's healthy because they tell us it is. They even name it like healthy choice and all that. It's not a healthy choice. Now, let me ask you one that really bugs me, and I don't even know how this got through the Senate and onto the side of the package. But do you ever see the thing that says 0 net carbs?
I have seen that, because I'm actually into reading labels. Like, I want to look at what are the first 3 to 5 ingredients in something before I buy it. And I'm amazed that I can't pronounce most of the ingredients on packages in the grocery store.
That's smart. Those are the largest quantity percentage ratio, or the first 3 to 5 ingredients. So that's great. That's the first thing we teach people to do, is read a label, learn how to go through their cupboards and clear it. But let me share the net carbs. Teeth are going to fall out on this one. This is crazy pants. So like, those companies figured out, well, gluten-free is kind of dying out, but everybody likes this keto thing. And there was something called 0 net carbs that came up, and they went, oh, that's interesting. What's that? And it's absolutely true. Science bears out that if you have some fiber in your diet alongside of sugary foods, like with fruit, like a whole apple with the peel and everything, that the sugar goes through your body slower. It doesn't slam your liver with, like a Coca-Cola would slam your liver and spit out all kinds of triglycerides and negative things, and it would be unhealthy for you. But when you eat an apple with the fiber, it slows it down. But what they did is they said, okay, 1 gram of fiber takes away 1 gram of carbs. Well, who said it was 1 for 1? We're not that transactional, but they got away with it. So now on the side of the package, it may have 138 carbs and a whole bunch of added sugar, but it adds fiber, enriched with fiber, 0 net carbs. So you're flying down the, thing, and Oreos, 0 net carbs. Okay, or there you go. I guess that's healthy. Do you know what that fiber's made of? This is the teeth falling. It's not even the teeth falling out part yet. Do you know what the fiber is made of?
No, what is it made of?
The number one substance, hand down by like 90%, is made of sawdust. And it's under the top of cellulose fiber. And you see that all the time. That is sawdust, people. You're eating sawdust, and it lodges in our pancreas, and it lodges in our gallbladders, and it lodges in our livers, and it creates cancer and cysts and cirrhosis and all kinds of deadly problems. But they're getting away with it, and I don't know how. But if you see 0 net carbs, walk away. Just walk away. Do not participate in that charade.
And again, I think it's almost overwhelming because there's so many different ways that they manipulate us as consumers.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we still have control over what we put in our bodies for the most part. What are just some of the basics that you try to educate some of your clients to bring them an awareness to? Because again, different socioeconomic statuses, different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
What are the fundamentals that you start off with your clients as when you start coaching?
The very first thing that people ask for is a list of foods I can eat. That's where people's minds go, like, tell me what foods I can eat. We start with mindset. We start with identity and really getting to the bottom of how you got to where you are and where those roadblocks are. Identity is like, I'm a sweet tooth. I'm a person who just drinks Coca-Cola. I'm a person who needs to have bread. Oh, well, I'm going to have bread. I'm a person who needs to snack. I can't cook for myself. I don't know how to cook. I don't want to cook. I can't cook. So there's all these things that we tell ourselves that are self-limiting beliefs about an ability to lose weight. Many of my clients can't remember not being overweight or obese, and they can't even imagine that, but they know why they are where they are, and we start there. Because when you can get to a place where you're not saying, oh, I can't have that chocolate dessert anymore. You're saying, I won't put that in my body. So when you go from I can't to I won't, that's huge. When you think about that, Mark. I mean, if you're facing down sugary desserts, which is your nemesis, right? And you get there, and if you look at it and you're all, I can't have that. And eventually you're going to have it again because you're missing it. You're grieving it. It's not in your life anymore. It was your go-to, you feel good food. But if you see it and you're educated about it, we teach people about what that does to your body, and you go to, I won't have that. Well, then I know that my clients will be fine. I'm like, they're going to be fine. When they can look at that and go, I'm not putting that junk in my body anymore. That's big.
It's the first time you watch the video and you see how hot dogs are really made.
Yeah.
Even if you grew up loving hot dogs, you look at them a little different, like,
yeah,
that is now. So you make a more informed decision.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've noticed there were times where personally I know something isn't good for me. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize it. I know what's behind it. But there's still a part of me that is craving it, yearning for it. And I give myself, I have my cheats where I give myself certain allowances, but I understand that I'm going to pay a price and I have to try to compensate that. And I kind of do a process. But how do you help people get over that hump when they're like, I don't care. I just want what I want. I love eating Oreos. So I want my Oreos. You're not going to make me give them up.
Well, sugar is twice as addictive as heroin and cocaine combined. They've done the tests in the brain, and we go over what that science is. And we need to acknowledge that we're powerless over that addiction, that it's become so part of what our bodies ask for what it looks to metabolize, because there's only two things our bodies can burn. There's sugar and there's fat. We don't burn protein. That's for bodybuilding, that building body parts. That's something different. So if we're constantly looking for sugar, it's like wanting rocket fuel all the time. Your body's looking for it. And when you have high stress and you have high stress jobs, or you are stressful in your life and you have all kinds of, we are in a very stressful time. Cortisol requires sugar to keep going. That the stress hormone makes you crave sugar. So sugar is a very powerful thing. So we work on removing it. Just like if you needed to get off heroin and cocaine, you wouldn't have a little bit of it. You have to get off it. And it takes 21 days to break the cycle of sugar. Only 21 days. And after that 21 days, you will no longer want it. And we work with you on the nutrition, on the mindset work, on the accountability to get you to where you understand it and can get there. Now, it's the same thing that happens with the Ozempics and the like, is they break that sugar bond, but you can't go and eat sugar and take Ozempic that you're going to still crave it. So you need the same thing happening. We can just do it naturally in 21 days rather than 90 days. You know, we can do it very successfully. I've helped thousands of people do it. So, yeah.
Well, because one of the things that I noticed in your bio, and I actually came from a highly spiritual community, and there was a lot of prayer mindset, and trying to do it one way specifically. But I noticed you mentioned how you're actually able to combine your program in alignment with a professional medical situation, so that there's no conflict. Because one of the things that a lot of people didn't realize is they were actually having issues because different medications were causing adverse reactions, and people were getting either sicker, some even passing away. How do you approach that with people? Because again, some people tend to go to one extreme or the other, and they don't understand that two things can actually be true at the same time. So how do you help kind of make it bridge that gap?
Well, I work with people's doctors, and doctors appreciate truly a master health coach, someone who's got my credentials and can work with them, understand what's going on. I can do everything but diagnose and prescribe. And I have the time to spend with their patients that they don't. They get 5 minutes in the room. And to say I'm handing you off to someone who really has your back, has the doctor's back, working with them on what a plan would be, following what that is, and helping the patient truly understand what medications you're taking. What are medications for medications? Remember, I was on 23 medications. Most of them were for side effects of medications. And you know how that works? Like all of a sudden your grandma's got this side table with, like, what is this, grandma? And it's like, well, that's for the headache I get with it. That's for the nausea I get with it. That's for the constipation from the nausea medication. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on like that. So to pull back from that prescription overload and to really understand your body is an education part, but it's also working with your doctor. And a lot of people are like, I don't know if I want to work with a health coach. It's like, you can have a holistic approach that your doctor's going to appreciate. One of the top things that happens in a holistic lifestyle and food program is anti-inflammatory effects. And you know, inflammation's the basis of all disease. It's one of the hardest things to bring down in someone's body is chronic inflammation. It's almost impossible to bring down without really powerful drugs. And we can do it naturally. Doctors love that. It's trackable. People can, see results. We have accountability. We have metrics and track systems. The doctors have access to it. So we really are just one part of the new puzzle. When the Affordable Care Act happened, health coaches were made part of that. And that there's even money in corporate budgets and companies' budgets of people of 50 or more employees have money to hire health coaches to come in to bring people's weight down and lower their insurance premiums. So we're working with a lot of companies on how to do that as well, big Fortune 500 companies on how to do that. And if you don't use the money, it goes back to the insurance companies. So why line their pockets any more than they need to? But it all comes down to empowerment, Mark. It comes
Yeah.
down to the individual wanting to change. They are done dealing with all the ridiculous lies and all of the marketing baloney and all the stuff that's going on, and the confusion, the food prison of what am I, just tell me what I'm supposed to eat. I'm tired of all the confusion. I don't care what you tell me to eat. I'll eat it. Just tell me.
Right.
There is, when you are big and you're getting sicker and sicker, you just want the answer. Just give me the answer.
Yeah.
And there's that relief over that. But it is not an easy thing to get over sugar. I'm telling anybody who's listening, it's not like I'm telling 21 days and you do it like nothing. It's not. It's like getting off any other substance, but we support you in doing that and have 100% success in doing it.
Wow. Coach Sheila, there's so many ways I want to take this conversation, because people, again, when you say sugar is twice as addictive as cocaine and heroin, and again, most people are just thinking of like desserts or whenever they buy a bag of brown or white sugar in the store, but it comes in different names. It's in almost every food product that you consume in some form or fashion. So how do you help people get the momentum? Because again, this is something that is built into our culture. And again, even from the medical profession, there's a lot of incentive financially for them to keep pushing certain medications. Right. And again, it's kind of what we used to call in sales upselling. So, again, if you come by the truck, then hey, I got this great wheel package I can add on. So the same thing with the side effects. Yeah. And I would see, my mother was a nurse for 27 years, and for 26 years, she took the same blood pressure medication. So with all of these outside influences for profit coming at people, do you find the community and your coaching service being one of the determining factors in the people who are able to really reach their goals and make it, as far as those who kind of relapse and get caught up back in the cycle of trying a new fad diet or a new product? Because again, like you say, you see these people advertising these teas or shakes, and I mean, we won't even talk about BBLs. Like there's so many different things that it comes to. People just want to feel better and look better.
Yeah, I totally understand why there's so much of it out there. And the companies are greedy, but they know that people are desperate and they're grabbing for whatever they can grab for. So the question, just to make sure I'm answering the right question, you want to know, how do you get people staying on track? And how supportive is the culture around the person an effective part of that equation, right? Is that the question?
Yeah, because empowerment is everything, but I don't think people realize how big of a fight they are dealing with from outside influences, and people tend to beat themselves up. Yeah. And so we want to make sure that they understand it may be your problem, but it's not all your fault. And having an access to a coach is actually maybe what can help people turn the corner when they've had.
And it's a system that we drop people into as well. It's not just education for education's sake. There's an app and a system and a portal and a place and a community that totally supports that person, and weekly accountability and access to all of the resources and tools and information that they need every single day, working on mindset and food and what you're eating and what you're thinking about that and how you move your body and what you do. But we also talk about families that are not supportive and how to talk to them. We get entire families involved in rebooting and becoming holistic in their approaches. I mean, I deal mostly with women. Most of my clients are women, and mostly we're the ones who control the food that comes into the house. So when she changes what she's eating and she's learning that that's healthy, she can't bring herself to buy all the junk for her family. So the food that we make is delicious. Guys love it. There's no limit to how much you can have. That's a big part of, when you think of diets, you think of restriction and sitting in the corner with your rice cakes and your non-fat whatever, and everybody else is enjoying their food. And this becomes a celebration of food, a celebration of what you can have that's delicious and whole food, not whole foods, but whole food, whole sources of food, and getting away from the really, truly expensive processed food that we're sold to all the time, and learning how to, and relearning how to feed ourselves and our families. We have teenagers saying, Mom, I want to eat like you. Teach me how to eat like you. We have kids going, gee, I like broccoli. You know, it's just, we're seeing a shift, and that our children are going to do what we do, not what we say. So if we're feeding ourselves well, if we're not sitting down with a quart of ice cream and a spoon in front of TV at night and a bag of chips, and we're having 3 square meals a day or 2 meals a day, if that's your thing with the intermittent fasting, I think it's wonderful that your dad knew that. It's amazing. Then your children are going to do that as well. And once the husband or the spouse sees those changes happening, they're very on board, because they happen right away. People lose 10, 15 pounds in the first couple of weeks. It just starts flying off your body once you let go of sugar. So it really is impactful. We see results happening immediately. And that's a big part of the success, is it just turns on like a light switch, starts happening for you.
Yeah. Well, and again, because you're not only the coach, but you have your own transformation that you went through. So
I've walked in their shoes.
So how what was that moment for you? Like when you looked and said, you know what, I get it now. Like I see it, and this is why I want to share this with other people. What was your personal journey like?
Well, I had spinal collapse at the age of 48, and had 18 spinal surgeries, and ended up in an electric wheelchair with stage 2 paraplegia and beginning quadriplegia. And I was really sick, severely diabetic, morbidly obese, and getting bigger every day, and a lot of autoimmune disease. I was literally scheduled to die soon. Like, there was a watch on what was going on. I lost my marriage to the illness. He took off. He was tired of dealing with it. And I really was alone, facing potential death. So my need to find a solution was huge. And I had tried the counters full of medications and the supplements and the detoxes. I tried it all. But food was the answer. Since it was the problem, I thought, well, I really like food. I need to find something that celebrates food. And I know there's a way to eat food, because when you're a kid, you jump out of bed and you eat food and you're fine. Like, I need to get back to that. I need to get back to that celebration, break out of this food prison, and really teach myself again how to feed this amazing gift we've been given. Our bodies don't want to be sick. We just have to get out of its way and let it get better, and not have so much hubris to think that we know better about with processed foods what our bodies needs. Like, get back to some ancestral eating. And when I started seeing my A1C go down, I saw my diabetes go away. I thought I was done at 190. I'm like, look at me. I'm in my jeans and everything. My doctor's like, you're still obese. I'm like, rude. And he's like, keep going, keep going. I know you think you're doing great. And to get up out of a wheelchair and walk, and to walk away from lupus, and to walk away from fibromyalgia and diabetes and spinal disease and everything, it was life-changing. It was life-altering shock, from a 54-inch waist to a 27-inch waist, just like crazy. I'm not talking about the clothes I could wear, how I felt about myself. It was that I was alive. That I had a future, that I could start planning things again. And I could dance at my granddaughter's wedding. I wasn't going to be waving grandma in the corner with one leg, or, she's blind, she can't see you, but wave, go say hi to grandma. I'm going to dance at my granddaughter's wedding. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be center stage with everything going on. And I have a next chapter in my life I never knew I had. What I figured out is the decisions that we're making right now determine the quality of all the tomorrows that we're given. What we are choosing right now is going to determine that. There is no next week. There is no next month. We'll try it next year. There's now. And what we're doing now makes that difference.
Absolutely. Well, I can't thank you enough. And again, as we close out, I do want to be mindful and respectful of your time. But
Oh,
you're a
thank you.
master mindful meditation instructor.
Mhm.
If you could use this opportunity to kind of encourage the community with the reboot method and everything that is available to them, what would you want to leave the community with? And also, who are some of the people that you would like to acknowledge that have been part of your journey that you would like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to Jocelyn Chrétien, who introduced me to you. She is such an inspiration to me. She's actually gone back to school to be to get a higher education in coaching, to get my credentials and to be one of my coaches. She's my events director now. She's helping me on my mission to get out there and share the word of what's going on, and how, we can use our bodies and our lives and our time, here to help other people. And she shares that. I'd really like to give a shout out to her. She absolutely is one of the biggest inspirations in my world. And I'd like to give a shout out to Mark Sisson. He is the head of the Primal Institute, where I went to school, and he's such an inspiration and really fought against all the conventional wisdom to bring this way of eating and living to the forefront, and is supportive of my need to get the word out on all of this. So I'd really like to do that. And to my dad, who was a speaker, he was a professional speaker, and I got the bug, and that's what I love to do as well. And we miss you every day, Dad. So.
Well, there's no doubt about that. That's absolutely heartfelt. Again, our platform now is part of your platform. If you have anything going on that we can help get the word out, please don't hesitate to let us know. Again, we'd love to have you come back and share again and again. But again, you've truly given the community, I think, a very intelligent, well-rounded presentation, because this is something that we all need to be aware of.
Yeah.
What we put in our bodies is important, and health is the ultimate form of wealth. So again, Coach Sheila, we thank you for coming on both sides of the conversation and having an educational Thursday with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
All right. Well, you enjoy your evening, and we will allow you to retire. Well, community, there you go. Of course, Bishop had to dash off. He's out. I think he's got his cape on in the community, serving, going to events, shaking hands, kissing babies, whatever he does. Want to give a big shout out to Angelique in the background, holding things down. And of course, the queen of the platform, Miss Io. Our prayers go out to you. Community, your health is your wealth. I think what Coach Sheila shared with us is probably a conversation that we need to continue to have over and over again. What you eat, again, my dad used to always say, you are what you eat, and the quality of the nutrition that you put in your body is absolutely critical to how you process, how you think, how you feel, and how you interact with everything. So if you've got questions, you're fed up, you've tried to either lose weight or get healthier, and nothing has worked consistently, please follow up. Check out Coach Sheila. I'm sure she has an amazing program that can help you get from where you're at to where you want to be. And again, you only put into the process, you only get out of the process what you put into the process. And sometimes you just need a helping hand and a guide. And I think Coach Sheila would be absolutely amazing, helping you with nature's Ozempic. Also, I want to make sure, we would love to hear from you. Let us know how we're doing, what topics you'd like to see us include in our shows. Go take our survey. Honestly, I think Bishop is still looking for somebody with a really good suggestion. He might bless y'all with something. He mentioned that. Don't hold Brother Mark Scott to that. But again, community, we love you. We thank you. I would try to give the benediction, but I'm not going to try to be Bishop. Not going to do it. I'm going to stay in my lane. I'll be the voice. So with that being said, I hope this information that was presented to you on this Educational Thursday absolutely helps you. And don't forget to check us out on all platforms, both sides of the conversation. We are out.